my gentlemen, UFC 299 took place today with an amazing card. And let's look at the finishes that took place there. And of course, pour the sound sauce on everything. Despanier and Josh Parisian made it through. Parisian went ahead and was finished at the very beginning, literally in the first seconds. This is the whole fight. Michel Pereira and Mikhail Alexievich. Pereira landed a good blow to the body, threw punches, punched, and then took a comfortable position and choked his opponent. Curtis Blades and Gelton Almeida. It was clear that both could and would fight. But whose struggle is stronger, we could only find out inside the battle. And we found out that Almeida has a stronger fight. But in the second round, he grabbed his leg so tightly out of habit that he didn't let go even if he missed the guns. And he paid the price and released him only when he had already started to pass out. Blade took the fight and called Aspinall. A good step to move forward, and it's a good offer for Aspinall not to wait too long for Jones. He himself spoke about this. Let's wait to see what decision the leadership makes. In the first round, Petya felt the power of Adong and I realized that they were both aiming for a knockout. However, all the guns flew past and still something flew in. In the second round, the guys continued. They fought very technically and decided to find out whose boxing is better. And I really liked this. I liked it. At some point, Petya transferred it and thereby took the second round. It seems that the third round was decisive, and until the last minute, it was not clear who was leading. Until Ian transferred Songo, and then it became clear that this was the defining moment. 29-28, Jan takes the fight, and again turns his direction towards the title holder. Gilbert burns Jack Della Maddalena, the first serious test for Jack. At the beginning, Gilbert moved a lot, threw punches, and most of them missed. But Maddalena fought more legibly but did not punch as powerfully as Gilbert. However, Burns' takedown at the end made it look like he had won the round. In the second round, he even shook Jack a couple of times, and by the end, he knocked him down again. In the third round, Maddalena turned on and started landing, and Gilbert began to look for salvation on the ground. But at some point, Jack got out, Burns decided to make a pass again and fell on his knee. This is where it all began, or rather ended. Burns fell and struggled downwards for a long time until the fight was stopped. Kevin Holland, Michael Page. From the very beginning, there was some kind of matrix. The wine stands at such a distance that there is no way to reach it. And the blows fly from God knows where and at what moment. And there is a real feeling that MVP is standing at the other end of the octagon. But there's no way to get it. In the second round, Kevin tried to knock him down and choke him, but this was perhaps the only dangerous moment in the entire fight. Then he also tried to close the distance, but missed the most beautiful blows. Good debut. I think he can ask for big fights. This fight went well for the UFC. They need to be brought together with Stephen Tollefson. What do you think? Two karate styles. Dustin against Rue Benoit with on Denis. Only one thing was clear here. The fight would start actively, and this would continue for a very, very long time. So long until someone passes out. In the first round, there were many dangerous moments, mainly for Dustin, but that's according to Rue. He's counting on this so that his opponent gets tired and then eats him. And this happened in the second round, and looking at Dustin, it seems that he is not at all surprised. Both receive Fight of the Night bonuses. For the second time, he confirms that he should not be used as a springboard for young people. Dan Hooker was the first to hit, and now Sandy Knee. What's next for Dustin? Most likely he remains in his third position. He does not bypass Gadzi. However, he can again declare title ambitions. But it's too early. I would love to see a rematch with Gaethje if he loses to Holloway, but the chances of this are small. If he wins, then only Oliveira and Sarukian remain. He doesn't want to fight Arman, just like Arman himself, since they won Hall and they already fought with Oliveira, so there is another option. Poirier, Makhachev, Islam has no one to fight with. Why not give this chance to Dustin now, while everyone else is sorting it out among themselves? This is exactly the time, the same, only if Poirier is ready to fight in 2-3 months. What do you think, by the way, Makhachev reacted? Very impressive, yes, with him, writes Islam. In general, the UFC will definitely come up with something, but time must pass first. Sean O'Malley, Marlon Vera, the entire fight, absolutely the entire fight. Sean O'Malley showed superiority over Marlon. This was expected. Vera, as usual, was waiting for his moment, but he didn't push and didn't push. Only in the fourth round did he start pushing, but he lost that round too. But he waited for his moment at the very, very end of the fight when O'Malley had already decided to go into the open wheelhouse. Vera put Sean's abs on his fist. He hit the target straight, but it was too late. Sean twisted the steering wheel after the gong, but he was already allowed. Next, as we expected, he called Ilia Topuria. This is exactly what will bring him the most money in the near future. Omel is a great businessman, and I think this was another smart move on his part. Ilia hasn't responded yet, but I think this is the most likely fight for both of them. First, because Volkanovski plans to return only at the end of the year. Second, there are no clear contenders for Topuria and others. Third, the Spanish public is beginning to become deeply involved in martial arts. Even today, there was a lot of attention from them, so the UFC will most likely go in that direction. How do you like the tournament, gentlemen? What emotions? Let's hear it, gentlemen.